Thanks for inviting us in on your Friday night. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin this evening with a sheriff's deputy who was injured by gunfire. All of this unfolding in Owen County today. What started as a missed appointment ended with aggression. Our Brandon Schaff just talked with investigators and is now breaking down what brought law enforcement to this secluded rural Indiana road.
High above Owen County, a state police helicopter surveys this wooded area. A 58-year-old suspect was barricaded in a building on Texas Pike after investigators say he shot at law enforcement. An Owen County sheriff's deputy was hit and transported to an Indianapolis hospital. Before the gunfire, a sheriff's deputy was conducting a welfare check at a home for the county probation department.
The first deputy arrived on scene. Shots were fired towards that deputy. The deputy immediately called out that shots were fired. Approximately 10 to 15 minutes later, other officers from the Owen County Sheriff's Department and the Spencer Police Department arrived on scene. Gunfire exchange.
The suspect was barricaded for at least 2 hours. Several agencies responded to the scene, including negotiators attempting to talk to him. Eventually, the suspect gave himself up, and police took him into custody.
This is a very serious situation. Anytime that we're putting our uniform on, we know that we're putting ourselves in harm for the public. What we ask now is for the public just to take a moment of silence, say a little bit of prayer for the deputy, and ask for a speedy recovery.
ISP will investigate this incident, and the investigation is ongoing. In Owen County, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
And tonight, the Owen County deputy who was injured, we're told, is said to be stable. Downtown Indianapolis is expected to be packed this weekend. Major events like Indy Pride and the Italian Street Festival are bringing thousands of people into the heart of our city. And with large crowds comes a focus on safety. Logan Gay joins me in studio tonight. So Logan, what should people know before heading out?
Well, Scott, Indy Pride leaders hope to see 50,000 people at this event this weekend. Organizers say that kind of turnout requires extensive planning, and they credit their partnerships with local police, firefighters, and other agencies for helping them prepare for just about any situation. For years, Indy Pride has been about joy, inclusion, and bringing people together. This weekend, that spirit is on full display across downtown Indianapolis.
We deserve a space to have fun, to feel celebrated, and this is my city.
Friday, volunteers were busy putting the finishing touches on the Indy Pride Festival at Military Park. Along Mass Ave, barricades sat nearby waiting to be put in place before Saturday's Pride Parade. Organizers say creating a safe environment is one of their biggest priorities.
We'll have several water stations throughout our festival footprint to keep people hydrated. We'll have fenced off areas to keep people safe. And then, of course, we'll have security and uniformed police officers around the parade grounds keeping everyone safe.
Throughout the festival space, attendees will find signs with maps, emergency information, and a list of prohibited items. Guns, illegal drugs, and flammable materials are not allowed. Everyone entering the festival must also use a clear bag.
We're going to do everything possible to make sure that folks are safe and able to have a good time.
Safety is also top of mind at another major event happening downtown this weekend. Holy Rosary Church told 13 News on Monday they're upping security for this weekend's Italian Street Festival, following last week's shooting at a church festival in Greenwood.
It's the number one thing that we consider. It's unfortunately the reality of having a public event right now.
For Indy Pride organizers, these preparations are about more than logistics.
I think this event to our community means togetherness, means bonding, it means a shared vision.
The festival is Indy Pride's biggest fundraiser, and because of these big crowds, IMPD told me they encourage you to plan ahead for any of the events happening this weekend. They ask you to report suspicious activity and call 911 if you need the police.
All right, Logan, thanks so much. Tonight, friends and family gathered for a balloon release to honor the man who was killed on the east side of Indianapolis. Police tell us they found 43-year-old Dion English Jr. in a parking lot of Laundry and Tan Connection. That's near 21st and Midhofer early Tuesday morning. English's cousin Derek Hardaway told us he and English were there just trying to use the Wi-Fi to make a podcast. He says an attempted robbery escalated to gunfire, and now Hardaway and English's other loved ones are grieving, and they're hoping police can find the person responsible.
When he came around, he brightened up the room, so now they just took that piece of light away from us. So I hope they get caught. I hope their parents turn them in.
Dion was loved very much by his family. He's loved. A lot of these friends, family and friends out here, love Dion. It's just our way of saying to him, in this final time that we love you, Dion.
If you have any information about this shooting, please call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Remember, you don't have to give your name. We've got that contact information right now over on WTHR.com. Angela, we had a beautiful evening around central Indiana, didn't we?
We sure did. For all of the events happening across central Indiana, the weather was perfect. We love this view from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, looking toward the city of Indianapolis downtown. In view, 73 in Indianapolis, 67 Greencastle, 65 Crawfordsville, and 68 degrees in Columbus. Temperatures tomorrow between 80 and 85. Plenty of sunshine early. There is a slight chance of a pop-up storm south tomorrow afternoon and evening. All of us get a chance for a few showers and storms Saturday night into early Sunday. And there will be another temperature drop thanks to a cold front that brings that rain chance. We'll go from 84 tomorrow to 74 on Sunday. In a few minutes, I'll have the latest information on the tornado count from last night.
Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, a Frankfort police officer is charged, accused of throwing his canine partner to the ground. Sergeant Ethan Cunningham says he was training the dog and the dog tried to bite him. But court documents say Cunningham's trainer did not observe aggression and teaches handlers to avoid lifting dogs off the ground. Purdue vets say the dog had a mild dislocation, probably caused by trauma. Cunningham remains a paid officer until the Frankfort Public Safety Board meets on Wednesday. Tonight, Indiana State Police are reminding drivers that driving too slow can be just as dangerous as driving too fast. They point to this traffic stop on I-65 involving a driver in the left lane going below the speed limit. They say you're required to go the speed limit in the left lane and then move over if someone is behind you. We've got new numbers out tonight that show Indianapolis is trending in a safer direction when it comes to deadly crashes. Our city's Vision Zero task force says there were fewer deadly wrecks last year, down 16% from 2024, but there's still lots of work to do. So the city of Indianapolis is teaming up with 500 champion Alex Pillow to promote safe driving. Tonight, the Trump administration is warning hundreds of hospitals that they need to provide more pricing information. That includes 34 here in Indiana, Ascension St. Vincent and community hospitals among them. Administration leaders say a lack of transparency is keeping health care costs higher than they should be. And the construction season in Fishers is underway with more than $12 million in new infrastructure investments. So we're talking about upgrades to State Road 37, Allisonville Road, and USA Parkway. The goal is to improve safety and connectivity. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories streaming anytime. Just scan this QR code on your screen. Tonight, a resident has filed an ethics complaint against a city-county councilor. Councilors are required to file annual ethics disclosure forms listing outside jobs and any city business tied to those employers. But as our Alex Almanza reports tonight, one resident says Michael Paul Hart's forms provide little detail.
Sharp jeers from Eastside residents at a DC Block's data center hearing. A proposal still moving through the city process. Among heated debate, resident Megan Lappa is raising a separate question about Councilor Hart, who represents the district where it would be built.
You know, if our counselors have another job, that's fine. Do what you need to do. But you need to be transparent with people what the nature of that is.
Lappa filed a complaint to the Office of Audits and Performance, alleging Hart left out info from his disclosure forms. According to documents, in 2025, Hart lists tech company SHI International as his employer. But when asked to list the amount the company received from the city, Hart writes, quote, check with ISA, or Information Services Agency. The following year, same question, he responded, quote, unknown. 13 News reached out to Councilor Hart, who said he'd need to speak to his caucus attorney and counsel before commenting. He He did not respond to questions about the disclosure forms he signed. But city documents show SHI had a contract with ISA running through 2027 worth $6 million. According to SHI's website, the company provides IT hardware and software solutions for a broad range of industries. While Hart has not been found in violation of any ethics rules, Lapa says she wants transparency, especially when counselors weigh in on big projects like data centers.
I don't want to accuse somebody of wrongdoing, and I wouldn't have if he had gone through the appropriate channels to even file his ethics disclosure correctly.
A council spokesperson clarified to 13 News the Office of Audit reviews procedures for city offices and departments, while the Ethics Committee is meant to bring up ethics concerns between councilors. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
City leaders tell us only a council member can bring an ethics complaint against another councilor, so they're saying that neither the Ethics Committee nor the Office of Audits address concerns like this complaint. But the Office of Audits told Lapa that they forwarded that complaint to the appropriate channel for further action and investigation.